Gro Clinics is here to help people with hair loss. We provide different platforms depending on the stage of hair loss that they are suffering with. Some people need hair loss medication to prevent further loss, to slow down hair loss, to maintain what they have, strengthen the hair that they have. But they're not ready for a transplant. Gro also offers transplants. Transplants are done to relocate hair from the donor area to the area of concern, to add density, to reshape. There are 3 options for hair loss. Option 1, do nothing. Some people do. Cover it up for as long as you can. Styling, sculpturing, the master of the sculpture. Cover it up by dressing the hair forward. Wear a hat, but ultimately at some point you have to draw a line in the sand and probably go to a buzz cut. Now, many people would prefer to have hair than not have hair. So we offer solutions such as medication to slow down that hair loss and help maintain and strengthen what you have. Option 2 is hair loss medication. We have a pharmaceutical department, which is all done via a telehealth appointment, simple phone call with our online doctor to discuss the best medication solution for you. Option 3, a transplant. There are 3 types of hair transplant available around the world: FUT, FUE, and then at Gro, PFP. FUT is the oldest version of a transplant that's still available. FUT is strip surgery. It's where they basically cut a panel of skin off the back of the head, pull the skin back together, stitch you up. You get left with a fairly large scar, usually about 20 by 1 centimeters across the back of the head. Recovery time can be slow. Short haircuts become a thing of the past unless you want to show off a big scar here. Then there's FUE, typically what you get done when you go to Turkey, but that's what 99% of clinics in Australia actually offer, a standard FUE procedure. That procedure, all carried out by technicians, no doctors involved. Then they're able to drill holes here, take the follicles from the donor area, and when they implant back in, it's the same method as with FUT. Scalpel, slice the slits, forceps, pick up the follicles, put them in the hole. At Gro, we offer a solution called PFP. That solution is all carried out by a doctor. Only person that's going to extract out, put back in, is a certified doctor. You're in the hands of an absolute expert. It's totally safe. That doctor uses a micro-motorized punch for extraction here, meaning no detectable scarring in the donor area. You could wear your hair here with a grade 1 haircut and nobody would know that you'd done it. When we implant in, our doctor uses a little implanter pen that looks like this. Each follicle is loaded into the top end of the pen, push button on the top. The doctor can individually implant each follicle back in whilst controlling the angle, the direction and the depth of every follicle, which means the client gets the most natural look possible. Getting an understanding of why hair loss happens is really important. Hair loss happens in men that are suffering with male pattern baldness because, it's family genetics. Somebody in the family line will have hair loss. What happens is that the male body produces testosterone, and testosterone converts into something called DHT, dihydrotestosterone. Dihydrotestosterone is the offset from testosterone that attacks the follicles on the top of the head. It comes along each day, simply beats up the follicle. It takes the big thick hairs and slowly over time miniaturizes them down to a point where they become so thin that the follicle stops producing a hair and then the gaps begin to appear. Medication can be considered to help slow down the attack of the DHT. Finasteride slows down the attack of the DHT, helps to maintain about 70% of what's on the top of the head. Minoxidil works differently. It's not a hormonal controller. It's used to drive blood to the surface to get better nutrients, better food to the follicles, to help the follicles produce better quality hairs. When a client books a transplant with Gro and their day comes around, the client meets with the doctor. They sit the client in front of the mirror, draw the lines on, and works out exactly where they're going to implant hair. Usually, depending on where we're implanting in, we require the client to have a buzz cut, a short haircut. That enables the doctor to be able to see exactly where to implant in to give the client the best results possible. The doctor then puts local anaesthetic into the donor area and then extracts out the donor hair. and after lunch, local anaesthetic into the implantation areas and implant back in whilst the client's watching Netflix. When the client finishes, the donor area is bandaged, the recipient area is left as it is. The donor bandage comes off after 24 hours. This area recovers really quickly. Within a week, most clients are looking at the back of the head wondering where we took the follicles from. Two things then happen. Number one, potential swelling across the brow. Nothing to be concerned about. Usually peaks at around day 3, gone by day 6. The second thing that happens is in weeks 1 and 2, anywhere where we implant in goes red and scabby. Scabs are there for up to 2 weeks, but normally gone by about 10 days post-procedure. When the scabs soften and fall off, usually the hair that was relocated sheds out at the same time, and then the growing stage begins. 6 months to see 50% of the results in the frontal to mid area, and 12 months to see 100% of the results here. Recovery time: no swimming in salt or chlorinated water for 2 weeks post-procedure, no heavy workouts for 30 days. Light workouts can resume at 3 weeks, and you can wear a brand new or a clean hat after 10 days. At Gro, after a procedure, we follow up with the client. 1 day post-procedure phone call, 1 month in-clinic follow-up, 2-month phone call. Then we see the client at 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, and 18 months post-procedure. The biggest regret that every client that I meet has when they do a hair transplant at Gro is they wish they'd done it sooner.